Hello everybody, it's Deloaded here. Today, we're looking at something really cool. This is the 2b2t Museum. Now, this is built by a player named Franknificent with the help of Enigma. Franknificent is kind of a controversial guy, but there's no doubt that he's built something truly incredible here. So let's go check it out. Outside the museum, he's got player statues of all of these famous and influential players. Back there, I think that's iMemes. Yeah, so as you can see, tons and tons of famous players. And there's more on the other side as well. There's lots of YouTubers over here. So there's Fit, for instance. Housemaster himself. Pop Bob. And the list goes on. This place is so big, it was actually causing me to drop frames. Part of it may have to do with it being in 1.20, and I don't have like Optifine and stuff for that, but literally this museum is so big that when you go into it, you get like a lag spike. So I have not fully explored this. This is my first... This is going to be my first time looking through the exhibits. I have flown around the main hall and I've seen it, and as you can see, it's incredibly beautiful. So these are banners of various groups. Dupe Griefer arranged by Enigma. Oh. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Okay. This is... Oh my god. Wow. That's really cool. This is so high effort. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay. No expense was spared. No expense was spared. One thing I have to say about Frank is he is very good at interioring all of his churches and being very ornate. He uses a lot of blocks that other people probably wouldn't use. So, just classic example, right? I mean, he's using the jukebox block as a floor decoration. Or he's using this dispenser as a floor decoration. Just because it looks so different than, you know, anything else you'd be able to get. And I think that's really interesting. A lot of his patterns are very colorful. And really interesting. He's not afraid to use every single color on one build, and it still works out. So big, I'm already lost, guys. Okay, this probably is the beginning, because look, origins of Minecraft. So yeah, I think like 80% of this museum is actually written books. And that may be why, actually, I'm dropping so many frames, because there's a million lecterns. And each lectern has its own little animated book. I think that is why I'm dropping frames, actually. Vortex Coalition started in May 2015. I kind of doubt the validity of that. I remember joining in 2016 and joining Voco, and I remember them telling us that they went back to 2015. But I kind of doubt that. I feel like the only person that joined pre-June is like Coltsnit. And that's it, you know? I don't think any of the original Voco guys were really pre-Junes. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to be yelling at me for that. Because Voco, to this day, still has a lot of fans. They were a cool group. They were really dominant in like late 2016, early 2017. So there's the banner there's the banner for Aureus City. So I'm not going to go through here and read every single one of these, but if you wanted to, you could. And they're no joke. I mean, let's look at the imps base. James Rustler. That's a typo. Files related to the base were found by James through iTristan's GitHub page. Wow. So for those of you who don't know, Imperators 1, or Imps 1, was the largest base in the history of the server pre-2016. For now. Okay. February 2016, and then 2016 overview. Completely changed the server. Yeah, in the wake of the destruction of Imperator. Right, so Imps was the big base that I was telling you about a second ago that was really important. Tyranny would openly use its backdoor. So the Tyranny is the group of players that would later become Nerds Inc. So, I know in my last video I briefly mentioned Nerds Inc. They're sort of like the Illuminati. Would openly use its backdoor powers to terrorize the community. Yeah, they're famous because they at one point had a backdoor. Banner of Team Veteran and fought off the new players is what has been dubbed the Rusher War. This would develop into the Fourth Incursion and initiate the formation of many new factions, including the Resistance, Dawnfuhrer, and the Imperium. That's true. Dawnfuhrer joined TB as a result of the Rusher War in 2016. Byzantium is probably one of the only 2b2t servers that, it's one of the only Anarchy servers that is not a 2b2t ripoff or clone, because it was actually started before the hype, and that I think is what makes it, you know, interesting. So Nerds Inc. prototype. This is when, yeah, early 2016, the Tyranny / Nerds Inc. So this is when the Tyranny starts to rebrand into Nerds Inc. Look at this. Look at the evolution of the Imperial's banners. Imperial Empire, Imperial Empire, Imperial Empire, Imperial Empire. So they finally settled into their Spawn Mason ripoff banner, which is what this is. It looks exactly like the Spawn Mason banner. Early Knights Templar. So I don't know if the Knights Templar are the same thing as the Templars, which is Sal's group, or if they're not. They might be. They might be. That would be interesting to me, actually, to find out. Turtles. So, you know, most of these groups no longer exist. I don't remember almost any of them. But here's the Peacekeepers. And they were a group that had a huge number of players. They were probably the biggest group on the server for a while. After Voco went to shit, they probably took over as being the biggest group. And they had this, like, stupid rivalry with the Spawn Masons. And the Spawn Masons just kicked their ass every single time. No, it was no contest. On the temp map in the summer of 2017, they actually did fight a little bit. and they got completely fucking wrecked by the Masons. Which, of course, you know, these guys were a bunch of just a bunch of new players that had no idea what they were doing, and most of them were very young. I kind of feel bad for them because they really got made fun of a lot, but they sort of brought it on themselves just with the way they behaved. But I was there for that. I was in the Spawn Masons in 2017, so I participated in some of those battles. August 2016, the Fit Rusher duel. I'm not sure what's supposed to be here. If there's supposed to be a statue or something. Troggadude Crisis. Goodwill Trading Company. Goodwill Trading was like one of the OG shops. Yeah, here's a whole article about the shops. Team Pepsi. So for those of you that are curious about Team Pepsi, Team Pepsi was never actually a real team. It was a meme from the very start. See if I recognize any of these banners. Oh, look! The Imperialists! Another Imperial banner. A lot of people like to call themselves the Imperials or the Imperium, or... Yeah, so here we go, the Imperium. They had a lot of variants of their banner. Bodecan, that was a famous base. See, some of these are banners from bases, and some of these are banners from groups. And so there's sort of a weird overlap here. So this is a book talking about the Imperium. Big faction established in 2016. Right. They fought other groups, including Highland Peacekeepers, Visionary, I don't know who that is, Vortex Coalition, and Infrared. The group stagnated in 2019 and mostly turned into a PvP faction. Interesting. So they lasted longer than I thought they did. When I rejoined 2B in 2020, because I took almost a year off, I missed all of 2019. When I rejoined 2B, the Imperium was just a tiny shadow of its former self, and then it was eventually disbanded by Phobos. Phobos wrecked them completely, and they didn't even try to recover. They just ended. So let's see. Okay, so this is where he talks about Dawn Fury. Do I go up or down? What do I do? There's no sign, there's no label. I guess I go up. Let's go up. When in doubt, go up. I think I'm probably supposed to go down, actually, but... Oh. Okay, let's go back. What's that? Social interactions? Okay. Wow. Holy shit. That's one hell of a fucking map art. Damn. This way. 2022. So 2020 just doesn't exist? Is that what... Is that... What's up here? I swear, man, this is a maze. This is kind of a maze. Or there's not signs to direct you like where to go. Okay, this is 2021. So apparently we were supposed to, and this is 2013. What the hell? So we were supposed to go back down and then cross over here. But how was I supposed to know that? Voco disbands. Voco's disbanded like 5 times, man. I don't know. There's got to be a 2020 area, right? Oh, okay. 2020. So we just went backwards, basically. pet TP exploit. Oh, this was so funny. There was an exploit, and it's still active, by the way, as far as I can tell, where if you punch somebody's dog, or you like force their dog to stand up, it'll automatically teleport to them. And then based on the same way that like Pearl tracking works, you can track their dog, where their dog teleported. That's why it's called the pet TP exploit. Skyfall. Skyfall's right there. Valley of Wheat rebuild. Some of this looks like it's a little bit unfinished. Not fully filled out. And that's kind of that. Well guys, hopefully you really enjoyed this walkthrough. Again, this museum was built by Frank Nificent with the help of Enigma. Truly a fantastic build. Really, really cool. And I just really felt like I had to show it off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll try to put a link to their Discord in the description of the video if I can get one, so that you can check this out for yourself if you want. Thanks for watching, everybody.